Alrighty, I'm just going to go ahead and get started here and launch our Metabolic Reset program. And I'm really just going to go through a lot of the details in regard to the prep week. So obviously this week is really going to be prepping, planning, going grocery shopping, that type of thing. And then I'll kind of regroup on the diet and some of the more important factors during the metabolic reset. So this will be relatively quick. I did want to also at the end go through some of the frequently asked questions. And then of course, as people log in, if you guys have questions at the end, obviously I will answer those as well. So again, the objective is to discuss getting prepared, what the pickup details are. So if you have not picked up your products yet, I'll talk a little bit about just our enhanced accountability on the app. And then, like I said, questions and answers, FAQs, etc. So as you know, there are 3 different options for the metabolic reset. And we'll talk just a little bit about the different programs. I'm not going to talk too much about it because obviously people do these frequently throughout the year. So we do the 365, so metabolic balance 365, where patients are doing it 3 times a year. So you guys are very familiar with it, and I don't want to bore you with some of those details. Okay, so first and foremost, make sure that you got your first email through the app today, because we set everyone up to receive their first email today. So let us know if you did not get that. And the first week is obviously prepping and preparing. Definitely encourage everybody to watch the diet video. So more of a comprehensive look into what the requirements are for the diet. Planning your grocery list and meals. Start logging. You can start logging now. And if you already have a scale, make sure that that is all set up and ready to go. So this is what our integrated scale looks like. If you do not have one, that is fine. You don't need to have one, but this is optional and highly encouraged, especially if you are going to continue to do programs with us, because it is integrated into our app. So this is more than just a scale. It looks at your weight, your body fat, your visceral fat, body water, muscle, your BMI, and bone mass. So it is pretty comprehensive. Like I said, it integrates with our app. So what that means is anytime you step on the scale, your results are going to automatically get uploaded into so that we have visibility to it. We will be monitoring progress, so we really do ask that everyone participate in the app. Again, log your food, log your weight, etc. This is obviously crucial for your success, because this is 100% online, and we try to add that accountability piece as much as possible. If you're interested in purchasing the scale, you can find it on Amazon. You can also go to our website under recommended products, and it will direct you to the Amazon site to purchase. So product pickup is this week, and basically prepping is this week. The program is going to start on September 19th, which is next Monday. And then your diet portion will start on September 21st. So for most of the programs, especially the HCG drops, we do have you take the HCG for 2 days. And then on the 3rd day, you obviously start the diet. Now the supplements, it's not as important that you wait the 3rd day, but you can choose to do that. If you choose to start the diet on day 1, that's perfectly fine as well. We've seen success both ways. For our metabolic reset now, we do not require any type of medical assessment, any virtual assessment, unless you are someone who's on some type of diabetic medication or insulin. We do screen for new patients that are new to us, and we ask that you contact us if there's been any change in your condition. So if there is a need for us to look and assess your current medical condition. So again, this is 100% online. We're going to be doing some live group sessions throughout this. I will mention now that if anyone has any recommendations, any topics that they would like for us to discuss, please send us any of that type of feedback. That's really helpful, because we're gonna start adding variety in our group sessions, and I'm gonna get some of my other practitioners to do some sessions as well. So this is 100% online. As you know, you can add visits. So if you want to add virtual follow-up visits, those are individual sessions with one of our practitioners. You can do that for $99. And you can still sign up for this program, because this entire week you're picking up and you're prepping. So you really you can still sign up. So if you know somebody that has been thinking about it, or if someone lives far, we can send the product, so you can really do this program from anywhere. We've added some additional accountability. If you have done this program with us before, you probably are familiar with that. So it really is just to kind of keep you on track. So you'll be checking off certain things that we are asking you to do as you go through the program. So HCG drops. This is obviously, I talked a lot about, the replacement of the injections. No real update on that, other than I do get the injections on occasion, and we basically create a list of patients that are interested in doing the injections. And then once we get the injectables or the injections, then we start reaching out to people. But if that's not of interest to you, you don't have to worry about it. But the drops are a great alternative. They are sublingual, so they're absorbed sublingually, and you're taking the drops under the tongue before breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So for this particular program, you're going to be getting the 2-ounce bottle, because the diet piece is 21 days. So you'll get 21 days worth of drops. And then that last week will be kind of like that transition period. Our HC2 program is kind of one of our newer programs, kind of a really amazing program. And so you will see all of the very specific directions for each of the products for our HC2 program. If you are someone who's doing the Metabolic Reset 365, the metabolic balance, you can try different programs. So if you've been doing like HCA lean, or if you've been doing the drops, you can try HC2. So you can mix and match. I would really encourage you to watch the video that compares the three. But this one really, I don't want to say it's my favorite, but it really does have an added detoxification support element to it. So those who have like sluggish liver, sluggish metabolism, this one is really a great option. This is also part of the HC2, so you also get a dropper that comes with that as well. And then you also get electrolytes, vitamins, and minerals to replace during the weight loss for the HC2 program as well. So there's 3 different products for the HC2. And then you have HCA lean. So there are 3 products for HCA lean as well. And again, these are just the directions for how you take the different products. So a capsule of the lean at breakfast and lunch. The HCA, you're going to take a capsule at breakfast and lunch 30 minutes before a meal. So it is a little bit different. You do have to kind of pay a little more attention to how you're taking the supplements, because it does matter. And then you have the sublingual lipotropic spray, which is 3 sprays under the tongue twice per day. Frequently asked questions. You're going to have access to these resources. This is actually in the HC2 booklet. I am going to, at the end of this, go over some of the FAQs that I think are super important and that people often make mistakes during this program. So you can always refer to this, but I'm going to kind of talk through a couple at the end. And again, the diet. The diet is super important because we are strategically creating a calorie deficit so that we can mobilize and use those really abnormal fats, the inflammatory fats, all, that type of thing. If you've heard me speak before, I speak about this ad nauseum. So I'm not going to really get too much into the diet, but the diet is crucial. So a couple ounces of protein for breakfast. So that can be, if you eat dairy, it could be like yogurt with a little bit of fruit. So the yogurt has to be plain. It cannot be vanilla, strawberry, anything like that, because it has a lot of added sugar. And then just make sure that your fruit you're following the fruit guidelines, because oftentimes people are eating too much fruit, and that affects the entire process. So it's not much. 50 calories for women, 100 calories for men. The snack, you have the option to do a protein shake, and can talk and make recommendations if you have questions about that. But it needs to be about 100 calories and 15 grams of protein with very little fat and very little carbs. And then your lunch and your dinner will be, 4 to 5 ounces of lean protein with a lot of vegetables, and the same for dinner. And then you can also add MCT oil if you wish to do that. And MCT oil actually is a fat that's allowed on our programs in, lower amounts. So it's just a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons that can be used like in your coffee. You can use it as dressing. You cannot cook with it. It is not an oil that can be heated, but this actually is a fat that will help you burn more fat, believe it or not. So that is allowed. And then you will also have access to the very specific guidelines in your book regarding the diet. So it will basically, each meal, you're going to pick one from this category, and then it gives you the very specific amount. So just make sure that you are following that. Same thing for lunch, the protein, and then depending on what type of vegetable you choose, it will tell you the very specific amount that you can have. And that the same thing goes for dinner. And just keep in mind that these measurements are all based on uncooked amounts. So if you cook it and you're measuring out 2 cups of this, then that's too much. So it's all measured and weighed uncooked. This is just an example of a day. So in the morning, you have a half a cup of fat-free plain yogurt with 1/2 medium grapefruit. You have your protein shake as a snack. And then your meal 2 is some type of protein and your vegetables. Meal 3 is some type of protein and your vegetables. And that's basically it. So just in summary, again, I can't reiterate it enough. I do think the reason why I keep reminding people that the diet is so crucial because it is, and it's very different if you were to go on, just a lower calorie diet, and it would be okay if you kind of like went off of it a little bit. It probably wouldn't affect your weight loss as much, but because we're trying to be very strategic and mobilize, these really difficult fat stores, anytime you eat outside of what is recommended on the diet, it takes you out of that process. So just wanted to emphasize that again. Taking your supplements every day is super important. Following along with the app, logging your food, logging your weight. And if you're doing all of that, you're following the meal plan. Again, just a reminder that the weight is going to fluctuate. Our body is a little more sophisticated than losing the same amount each week or each day. It's very complex. So what I like to tell people is that just a general rule of thumb is look at your weekly weight loss. And so the weekly average is at the beginning, probably like 4 to 7 pounds. And then after that first week, it'll kind of start to stabilize a little bit. and then you can expect like 3 to 5. Obviously, people are going to be very different, really depending on how much inflammation you have in your body, because if you have a lot of fluid retention and inflammation, you're going to lose a lot more because you're going to be flushing a lot of water, water that you don't need. And the other, I was going to make another point about that, but now it just escaped me. But another just important piece is, really listening to your body. You should feel good, especially at week 2. You should really start feeling very, very good. The first week, you're going to be going through some adjustments and you might not feel as great, but that, that again it can be very normal. So just again, if you continue to be lethargic or tired throughout this whole process, then, definitely reach out to us, because you shouldn't be feeling like that. And there's something that we can likely troubleshoot. Within our app, you can message us. So we have our dietitian that is going to be managing this every single day. So if you have questions, you can just answer, or you can just ask right through the app. All right. So I know there's some people on here, and if you guys want to just ask any questions you might have, I would obviously like to address those before I kind of go through some of the frequently asked questions. So let me just, I'll just take kind of a brief moment, and then if you guys don't have any questions, I'll just kind of hit the main ones. And you can put it in the chat, or you can ask whatever you prefer. And while we're waiting, I will just start going through some of the important ones here. All right, this is a good one. What if I don't get to exactly 800 calories per day? Should I add more food? So, okay, you will never, ever be exactly at 800 calories, or if you are on the higher calorie amount, which is most of our men, you'll never really be right at 1,000. Because if you think about it, we don't change our meal plan based on what you choose. So if you have fish for dinner one day and the other day you have lean, if you have steak, that's going to change the calories, but it doesn't mean that you're now adding more food, because fish is a lot less calories than beef. So just kind of keep that in mind. Even some days, if you, at the end of the day, when you're tracking and you see that you're coming out to like 650, 675, like that's okay. We just want to make sure you're getting all the meals, you're getting all your protein, you're getting all your vegetables. So if you're lower than that, don't worry about it. If you're higher than it, then, obviously something is, you're kind of not following in some area of the plan. So hopefully that makes sense. Can I purchase my own protein shake? So as most people know, we have our own protein shakes that are super high quality, super healthy. But you absolutely, and people are my employees are gonna be mad at I'm saying this, because I said, once we let people use their own, it gets us into trouble sometimes, because, we have to approve it. And if we're not approving it, then if something else is chosen, it doesn't follow the guidelines, that could actually be the one thing that throws everything off. So if you do have your own protein shake, just make sure that we look at it. Okay, so I see there's one. Okay, I'm just going to go to this question. My challenge is late night eating. Any suggestions? So you can save your snack for the evening. So if you decide, some people like to do their protein shake at night, or what you can do is save some vegetables, maybe some fruit at night. That has been helpful for some people. We do have like these 100-calorie puddings. If you like to have like some type of sweet at night, they're 100 calories and high protein. That would be an option. And then, what also is helpful is if you eat a little bit later. So if you eat dinner relatively early, then you're more likely, obviously, to get hungry throughout the night. So maybe push your dinner back to like maybe 7 o'clock, so that when you're done, then it's kind of getting later, and depending on what time you go to sleep as well. So hopefully that was helpful. What happens if I eat off of the plan? So, let's say you're going out to a restaurant and you eat off of the plan. So anytime you eat off the plan, it's going to change the way that your body is accessing energy. So again, energy, meaning the calories. So we want to only go after the fat stores. If you are eating too many calories, then your body now is just going to go to the sugar and carbohydrates that were consumed. So our goal again is to turn you into a massive fat burning machine during this process. So again, it doesn't mean that if you cheat and you get back on, you can't get back in the process. You can. It's just gonna slow things down. How much exercise is too much on HCA lean? That's a really, really good question. That is such a good question. So we do allow more exercise for the HCA lean program. And that one is, it's kind of hard because everyone's different. But if you are exercising, meaning you're doing something other than just, low cardio, so you're on a treadmill, or you're going for a slow jog, or you're just walking. If you're doing like HIIT exercises or weightlifting, then we have to increase your calories and we have to increase the protein. So you will know if your exercise is too much if you're not losing weight and you feel like crap. That's when you know it's too much and you have to bring it back down. Because if you're taken out of the process of burning your fat, you're going to feel tired and you're going to feel lethargic if your body now is going after the muscle for calories. So I know that's not just like very cut and dry, but it is kind of real. It is a little tricky. You have to kind of play with it. But I would say, to err on the side of caution, don't overdo it. All right, let's see. Why have I lost muscle? Why on this program? So it is very normal to lose some muscle when you're losing significant amount of weight. Now, if you are losing a lot of muscle, it means that you weren't following the plan. Because when people cheat off of the plan, we see it over and over that they might still be losing. They'll lose at like a slower rate, but they lose a lot of muscle. So that's why the body, the home scale, because this is obviously virtual, that's why the home scale can be really beneficial, because you can monitor that. And yes, it's not like the in-body, and it's not going to be the same as the in-body, because in-body is a much more sophisticated scale. But what you will get is you will get your personal trends. And so you're going to get your initial muscle mass, and then you'll be able to track that. And if it starts to go down, then like, oh, I need to kind of like see what I could be missing on this particular program. So that was a really a common one that people ask. And then maybe this one is a good one. Should I weigh myself every day? I would say you can weigh yourself every day, unless it stresses you out and you get anxiety. I don't know how anyone would want to weigh themselves every day, but because there's so much that comes into that, right? I mean, it's like, did you drink? How much did you lose? Did you work out? You have inflammation. I mean, there's so many things that affect your weight. I think ideally you look at your weekly weight loss, and that's going to give you a more accurate picture. So those are the main questions that I wanted to talk about. Does anybody else have any that they want to ask before we sign out of this one? And just remember that this is the prep week, so you have lots of time to, plan and again, make sure that you're in the app and getting situated and that type of thing. So, all right, I'm going to end this. And then if any questions, you guys have any questions that come up, feel free to reach out to us. All right. Thank you so much and good luck. We'll talk to you soon.